Hello, my friends. This is Kathleen from BeAgainBooks. I'm happy to be with you today. I want to show you this finished journal. I'm calling it Winter Woods, and it's just very rustic. I have used a recycled journal cover of some kind. My husband was asking me about it, and I don't even remember where I got it, but it didn't have a good spine. So I had to build a spine for it. I've used this burlap kind of ribbon on the edges and then just a paper spine. It has two signatures, and this is rustic on purpose. I wanted it to look old and worn out. I've used this really cool chiseled kind of button. It's ended up being quite tight against the cover, but you can fiddle with it and it works just fine. I have my regular button and beads and the elastic closure. There is lots of room in here for it to swell, and the cardboard will eventually just kind of mold around what's inside. I've also used this beautiful Tim Holtz oval metal book plate with some pine trees here with some snow on it. Yeah, I like how it has turned out. Let's go inside. So this is the initial inside. Yeah, vintage postcard, and I have distressed it with some embossing and sanding. And this is a recipe for fudge, February 15th, 1938. And there's room on the back to journal. I've used this silk ruffle here and some wooden leaves. This is one of my pretty peekaboo pockets, and just a scrap with the collage on it. This is an envelope and it flips, and on this side I just have this little notebook page that slides in there. There's room here to journal. Here's my favorite thing is to do these little layered shorts. Plenty of room to journal. This is some images from the Graphics Fairy kit. I believe it's called Blue Jay's Winter, mostly. This is a little rusted paper clip, and I have used that pretty image that's on the cover. I have enlarged it and made just a wraparound journal paper, and I have used texture paste and embellished the snow on those pine cones. That just clips with a rusted paper clip. This is some vintage ledger paper. This wants to curl, so you have to be a little careful turning that page. I have a bound-in tag, some more shorts. Here is a paint chip, embellished a little bit. Song of the Months. This is just a title page, journal paper. Here are the pockets that we did together the other day, and I just have these vintage pieces of ephemera. Here's the center spread of the first. This is just a journal card, and that fits in this side of this vintage envelope. There's another napkin decoupage and some lace. Here's the other side with that collage that we did. The jet guest check and this piece of ephemera. So that fits in that pocket. Here's the little winter birds of some kind, just decoupaged in that little collage, an index card and a top tuck. Here's the other pocket that we did together the other day. So that flips over. There's a little card, calling card. There's the fly leaf, journal paper. This is another napkin decoupage, just a fun little winter bird. Here is Fisher's Crusty Pie Bakery, vintage receipt, and this pretty tag here. There's a little collage at the top of the page. There's a little altered candy bag. And just a couple of pieces of ephemera for journaling. There's a little pocket here, and chicken every Sunday. Just a little journaling card, vintage catalog card. This is a handmade greeting card, and I have cut this focal point out. This little pressed flower, I think it's an herb of some kind, and then some other paper glued on top, so that's really pretty. Just tuck that in there. Some more lace. This is fly leaf that is stuck together, so lots of room to journal there. Here is another around the page journal paper, and I just again have used the texture paste to embellish the snow. And a little paper clip with some crinkled ribbon. This is a large snippet pocket and a vintage postcard. There's another one of these collage at the top of the page. A magazine, craft magazine, needlepoint. This is a little illustration from a children's book. A little notebook paper that I just stamped that sweet squirrel on there. And this is Booth Bay Harbor, Maine. Somebody's little fishing cabin. And this is in French. My friend Alice could read that, or Elizabeth. They're both French. Little ribbon there. It's pretty paper. Here is a cluster belly band, and I've just enclosed a piece of vintage stationery. It's really pretty stationery. It's linen and paper, and it will be lovely to write on. This is the center of the second signature. This kind of layered kind of deal. This is 1896, Roy Worthing, and it's a pretty vintage card. It has some glitter on it. That is original. and it just fits down there. It's just a little piece of journal paper folded up. And this is a beautiful image of a winter scene out the window. Snow on the trees. Yeah. Here is another vintage postcard of this deer. I just did this little stamping there, and that goes up there. There's that pretty tissue again. Some ledger and this pretty ruffle. The other side of that needlepoint page. So you can tell this really is a writing journal. Lots of room to write. Here is the other pocket that we did together with the cardinals playing card, the bingo playing card, and some vintage note paper. And finally, this vintage, it's called The Proposal. How fun. Just a vintage couple on a cruise, it looks like, in the winter. Yeah, that is, I can't tell what the date is, but it's blank, so you could even send it if you wanted. And here's the back. You can see I did some sponging. Yep, and there's the beads. That's the Winter Woods journal. I'm going to list this for sale on Etsy, so you can look for a link there. And then I will be back with the next project. Thanks so much for being with me today. We'll see you later.